everyone, and welcome to today's edition of All Access, your backstage pass to art and entertainment in Leesburg and the surrounding area. I'm your host, Kelly Summersall. Today, we're speaking with a very talented artist, teacher, museum professional, and musician. He just so happens to be the executive director of the Leesburg Center for the Arts. Please welcome Richard Colvin. Richard, welcome to the show. We're so happy that you're here.
Thank you, Kelly.
So Richard, I know you and your team just wrapped the 47th Annual Art Festival, and we will talk more about that later. But first, I want to know about you. And I know you were born in Olathe, Kansas, and that's known for the School of the Deaf. What was it like growing up there?
Well, it was, I was pretty young, so the parts that I remember are a little sketchy, but I do remember the weather, the twisters, and endless vistas of flat land. But we moved from Kansas to New York when I was only very young.
When did your love for art begin?
I'm told by my family that I started drawing at 3 or 4 years old. My favorite toy was just a plain black crayon that I used to unwrap and break into pieces. I refused to color inside the lines then and now, and I just conceived very early on a deep love for drawing. And also I was interested in cartoon characters, so that's a lot of what I drew, and the kids still do that today.
Do you remember the first piece of art that you drew or sold, and what was it?
Well, I think my mother gave me a milk dud for drawing a Captain Hook. By the time we had moved down to Florida, as a young artist, I participated in the Winter Park Sidewalk Art Festival. And we had the art workshop that I was affiliated with would have a booth, and we used to go we used to go over and get a lot of dropouts from mats from a framer, and we'd do little pictures on those, wrap them in plastic, and sell those. So I remember I think this might have been 1967. I remember selling one of those for $10.
How old were you?
I would have been about 10, 11.
So that was a lot of money. Your gift of storytelling through art certainly took you places. I know you got to mentor under the great Barbara Bassett. What was that like?
Mrs. Bassett was a great mentor, and she drilled into me that it wasn't just enough to have a drawing or a painting tell a story, narrative content, but also to be well done. And I've been very fortunate in my life to have a series of mentors that helped me, and she was the first person who I took art lessons from, and that continued all the way through high school. And it changed my life. She changed my life and taught me so much about art that the basics aren't going away anytime soon, and she taught me the basics, and I still use what she taught me today to teach others. She helped me prepare a portfolio for national competitions to get into college. Mm-hmm. And so she helped me work very, very diligently on preparing a group of artworks that would then be sent off and used to judge awards like the National Scholastic Competition. And also I ended up winning a 2-year scholarship to an art school in Ohio called Columbus College of Art and Design. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, when I went there, I was only 18 years old, and I'd never been away from home before, and I was completely freaked out. Mm. So I ended up leaving there, coming back home, and began my studies at the local college there in Winter Park, Rollins College.
Okay. So in 1981, you were featured at the Stone Lithography Showcase. What was that like?
It was significant because at Rollins I became involved with yet another one of my mentors, Thomas F. Peterson, who was a painter and a printmaker, which is what I aspired to be. And he was working at that time with another one of my mentors, Jerry Radiger, at the Maitland Art Center. And so they had a program that was to teach lithography, which is a printmaking medium, to students. And so I was really privileged to be part of that. Lithography is the most challenging of all print mediums, things like etching and woodcut, but lithography is particularly tough. And so in learning about that, I was able to take that to I was able to enter into another level of printmaking that was very new to me, but also an ability to kind of use my ability to draw in that arena.
So Richard, tell us, how did you become the executive director at the Leesburg Center for the Arts?
Well, I retired as the executive director of the Lake Eustis Museum of Art in 2018. And when I was working there, I became friendly with Amy Padgett, who was the longtime director of the Leesburg Center for the Arts. She gave me the opportunity to exhibit my own artwork there, and so I developed a real soft spot in my heart for the Leesburg Center for the Arts. And so when an opportunity came to volunteer and eventually work there, I jumped at it.
Richard, thank you for taking us on your journey, and I want to hear so much more. We'll be right back.